Rumor has it.
Call out a name, or you gossiping, or you chatty patty.
I'm gossiping.
This is the Rumor Report.
I mean, I guess we on the Breakfast Club. This is where the tea spills, right?
Right. On the Breakfast Club.
Now we're talking about the brat and her wife, Jessica Judy. The brat hasn't been up here, right? I know Judy's been up here, but I don't think the brat's ever been up here.
Oh, Judy's been up here?
You don't remember? She opened up. She has the product. She opened up the huge warehouses out in New Orleans. She came up here before.
I don't know if I was here for that one.
Yeah, I think you were. Well, in a new interview with The Root, the couple explains how they chose a white sperm donor over a black donor because the latter wasn't attractive enough. The couple revealed that they were quite surprised at how few black donors were there to choose from. And they started, going through the candidates. They said they were only left with about 300 candidates after doing the screening, and only one of them was black. However, the only one wasn't attractive enough for them. The brat laughingly said, the dude looked like Jiminy Cricket. I was like, I'm sorry, but that wasn't going to be my choice. So
let's go to our Breakfast Club correspondent, Dr. Umar Johnson, for comment, please. What do you think, Kim?
Oh, my goodness, it was throwing me off. I mean, how? Okay, this is completely throwing me. I didn't know they had a white donor to begin with. Now, okay, all right, people are doing that. But I'm trying to say, where did she go to look at these donors? Was she in Utah, Oklahoma? Because if you're in Atlanta, it's a whole bunch of sperm I done seen. I mean, I done.
Jesus,
I meant sperm donors.
Wow, Kim. Okay, we got it.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? There's a bunch of black men down there. But what they're saying is that black men are not donating sperm. But I think it's just not known. In the Breakfast Club, y'all should do a little PSA. Black men, go and donate your sperm because there are a lot of women who look for black fathers.
So I guess you should say good-looking black men in this case.
Right. I don't think, I don't understand that. I understand we want our children to look a certain way, but if you got pregnant naturally, sometimes the children don't look like the mama and daddy. They reach back.
They look like ugly children.
They get a Jiminy Cricket. They get an uncle. They get, you go back. I did not know because Wanda Sykes also has white. She had a white donor.
A sperm donor?
Sperm donor. She's a friend of mine. And, I always ask her, hey, she chose that. But she has white children. They're not even like mixed. And I guess the brat and Judy's, they're going to be mixed children.
Yeah,
Did they say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I think the problem is this just reinforces a lot of negative stereotypes that in America white is beautiful and black isn't. Because the headline is the brat got a white sperm donor because the black sperm donor looked like Jiminy Cricket.
Right.
You know
and
what I mean?
That is pushing that narrative, and we cannot do that. And it's unfortunate, but sometimes when you're on a reality show, we do say things, try to be funny. So I'm hoping that's, what she was doing because you can find, and what I will say is people have to understand, you only get $100 to donate sperm.
For real?
It's not high.
They don't even charge you by like the pint? They don't charge
It's not a lot. So they got to, like if you go get blood, I think it might be $20. So, brothers are probably like, ain't nobody going down there to do all that because it's a process.
I just don't know. We all don't know the process. But if they were looking and they said there was so few black donors and the only one that they found just didn't fit them, then they wanted to have a baby. I mean, I would hope that they would.
If you are buying a baby, right? If you're putting together your own baby,
seriously,
if you're building a baby, you want the baby to look good. You know what I mean?
Of course. But they could have called
regardless
you.
of what,
they could have called you, right?
Thank you,
and been like, hey, just Yeah, that's what I feel like.
They didn't want no short baby.
But I'm just saying, regardless of the race,
look at his skin,
if the person's not attractive,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You probably don't want to take your chances. It's just crazy, all these conversations we have about buying black, supporting black business, and you go out and buy white sperm. Lord have mercy.
All right. Now
sperm is always white, though.
We got to keep it moving. Eboni K. Williams, we talked about her yesterday, and now she's doubling down on the fact that she'd never date a bus driver. This is what she said yesterday.
I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position. Now, I suspect that some of y'all are the same men that were bringing home C's and D's on your report cards, only to then be coddled by parents that said, well, that's okay, as long as you're doing your best. Well, listen, I love and believe in the excellence of black men. So no, my dear, C's and D's or any other form of mediocrity is not okay. But could it be that black America has been sold a narrative of average, regular, and typical being good enough for us? Well, see, that's called white supremacy. No, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Ebony! My son brings home C's and D's. It's just fine. That's right. And I call to him and I say, good job, but you can do better. Ebony.
You don't try to get him a tutor?
Yeah, I do. He has a tutor. But this, I don't understand. What does white supremacy have to do with it? Why are we saying for her? She's saying for her, it's not good enough for her. And so Ebony, I don't know what she wants. A bus driver is fine. What if he's the best man ever and he's passionate about his bus driving and he loves you and he cares for you and he does all the things on the list that you love? Because we all, women, we all got lists. And then you have one thing because is it the bus driver or is it the salary or is it the money he makes? Because if Ebony is a millionaire or whatever, if she makes a lot of money, why does your man have to be equally yoked right there with you?
Yeah, I just don't understand why everyday working class people are considered average, mediocre, or typical. I don't know why we refer to everyday working class people as having lower standards. There are people who think what we do is average and mediocre compared to what they do, and they probably right. Like if I'm a media personality, entrepreneur in the entertainment business, I can name so many jobs that are more important than mine. Doctors, teachers, engineers, military, people in entertainment. Newsflash, we are not essential workers. The world is not going to stop because we're not on the radio. The world is not going to stop because we're not on TV. But let the bus drivers stop driving today.
Honey,
let the folks who drive Uber quit today. Something as simple as coffee. Let the Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks workers not show up for work today. Let the sanitation workers not pick up the trash and see what happens.
But the problem is it sounds like it's trying to make it seem like bus drivers and we call them the bus and tunnel people that they control the city. They run the city, make sure the city's running, that they're not bright and smart, which is totally wrong. I know a lot of smart and intelligent bus drivers, intelligent police officers, intelligent people that work at all those people you just named, and I know a lot of stupid attorneys. I know a lot of dumbass attorneys.
Absolutely.
So, and sometimes I think, how the hell you got your job? So it's a little bit of both. And just to say it, my dad, who was in the military, when he got home from the military, he couldn't find a job. So he started off as a mechanic, and then the mechanic wasn't giving enough money. So he needed
essential.
Yes, he needed
essential worker.
But then he needed benefits, so he became a bus driver, and that wasn't
essential.
Enough. And then he became a police officer.
Essential.
And not easy. You got to be smart to do that. You got to pass all those tests.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, listen, Ebony's the homie. That's our people's right there in a real way, and she's entitled to her preference. She can date whoever she wants to date. She can have whatever standards she wants to. But I just think the problem here is, I believe she's unintentionally putting down everyday working class people.
Correct.
I think she chose the wrong words. I think that's what she's trying to say is, look, I want a millionaire. I want somebody
like
fine. Me. But she was doing something before she became that also.
That's true.
And I think she just used the wrong words. But I'm here to tell you, Ebony, sometimes you got to go where millionaires hang out. And sometimes those millionaires, they want a 22-year-old. Start looking around. It's the truth. I'm telling you. You look around these millionaires and billionaires, you're like, oh, they don't want my age. My bad.
I mean, Diddy did pull up to the Met Gala with a young tender.
Young tender.
He
had a tender. And I tried to holler at him many times. He ain't checking for me.
Well, let's open up the phone lines when we come back after Front Page News. 800-585-1051. Does this insult working class people? That is the question.
Yeah, you can't refer to everyday working class people as average and mediocre. I just think we too often overinflate our positions as entertainers. America has this weird obsession with celebrity, and it makes us feel like we are more important than what we are. We are not essential.
I think she's just throwing it out there, her net. Like, this is what I want. She using that as like a dating situation. She's throwing it out there like, hey, this is what I would like. Come for me. Because let me tell you something. I take a bus driver, a garbage, whatever. I take any good man right now because you have to understand, in society, the roles have switched. A lot of black women are making a lot more money than black men. So we have to turn our thinking around and say, hey, you know what? Because I know I've lived it and I know friends that lived it. Hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take care of everything. But can you take care of the home? Like we change the roles. It's hard, but once black men really settle into it, they're like, oh, this is kind of cool. You cook, take care of the kids, make sure the house is run. I'm gonna bring in the money.
That's right. Well, we'll talk about it when we come back. We got Front Page News next. Tesla and Figaro will be joining us, and our guest co-host this morning is Kim Whitley. So don't move. And we're taking your calls. 800-585-1051. Does this insult working class people? What Ebony K. Williams said. We'll talk about it. It's the Breakfast Club on BET.
Wake that ass up
in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.